Welcome. I'm Julie Kay, and we are going to begin talking about self care. What is self care? What do you think self care is? It is a new, commonly talked about good subject and needed subject, I truly believe, especially for those who are givers, who are doers, who are want to make an impact on this world, who want to help other people, love their family, and want to serve their God, whatever it is, especially for those. And if you're one of those, then this series may be very beneficial to you. If you're used to taking care of yourself and focusing on yourself, you may already know all of these, but you may still benefit from it, from me sharing the 5 areas that I've chosen to focus in on this series. So I want to give a definition of self-care, one of the ones online, because I don't think this is a one definition word, just like I don't think the word support is just a one simple definition word. And so it is a multidimensional and multifaceted process of purposeful, or also intentional, I say, engagement and strategies promoting healthy function and well-being. So that's a big mouthful. So now for the simple one, it's really any activity or habit or intentional things you do in your life to help your well-being, to help your health and well-being. That's kind of my little simple definition of it. Okay. So with that, I have chosen 5 areas or pillars, whatever you want to call them, right? And I'm calling them tips on this video because tips can be just any segment of information. So I'm calling them 5 tips to self-care for coping with grief and loss. Now this applies to anyone anyway, but we will be honing in a little more on grief and loss during this series, as I always usually do. Okay, so here's a little chart I made. Oops, it's upside down. It's probably backwards to you, but you can look at the picture and you'll see it. And plus I'll be going over these, and plus I'll be doing a video on each one of these in this series. So this is kind of the introduction video to this, and here's you in the middle. And so we hit on all 5, and I'm not even going to start at the top because I don't want you to think there's any certain priority or order. Spiritual is one of the categories. Emotional self-care, your spiritual side of your being, your emotional side, your mental, and your physical, and your social. So those are the areas that I'm going to explore. And so just wanted you to see this. I didn't have a chart on hand, and this is the one, so I made my own little chart. So those are the ones that we're going to hone in on. But I want to say just several things on this video about self-care. It is, again, important for those who don't necessarily make themselves a priority. But the only way you're going to make this a priority and see your need for self-care, especially if you're not in the habit of doing it, besides things like maybe hygiene, which hopefully you do, and most people were raised to know at least some of the elements or most of the elements about the hygiene and taking care of their bodies in general, right? So is for you to know how important you are. It is vital for you to know how valuable you are. Now, I'm not going to go on and on about this. I have other videos that talk about this, and I'm all for you understanding your value. You have to understand that you are valuable. And everything you do and every hat you wear in life, per se, every role you play, every job, everything that you are maybe a leader in, or you're dependent on for, etc., is not why you're valuable. But all of those reasons are reasons for self-care, because it only is going to help you be better you, and not give to everybody else and then end up having your own health crisis, mental crisis, etc., your own breakdown, your own fall into depression, your own burnout, if you will. But you're important just because God made you fearfully and wonderfully made. I believe that with all my heart, that I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. And every person on this planet is fearfully and wonderfully made. We were made by God higher than the animals, and we were made in his image. So that's all I'm going to say about that today. But you are valuable. You are important. And if you're not used to being told that, I want to tell you that briefly in this video. You are worth it just for who you are, not because of what you do, but because of who you are. Because if all of it was stripped away and we couldn't do anything, we had major handicaps or what have you, you are still valuable. You are still God's child in his creation, and you are still valuable, and you will be missed if you are not on this earth and when you're not on this earth anymore. Okay? So I want to establish that. You have to know your value in order to be able to do this, and to know that this is going to flow out in every area of your life. And I want to note that every one of these areas all affect each other. Every single one of them affect each other. I was thinking, well, maybe not the physical to the spiritual as much. So our physical body and what we do, if you are a spiritual person like me and a born-again believer, you may think, kind of agree with you, well, I don't know if the physical affects the spiritual. Maybe not directly, but it does in this world, because if you're a very spiritual person and you love Jesus and you want to serve God and you want to help other people and all those kinds of things, if you're physically not fit, you won't be able to do that. The people who have gotten cancer or died even at a younger age or other health issues, a lot of people are stopped from being able to do as many things for God, for mankind, in because of their physical health. So every one of these affects each other. Okay, so I want to establish that. And we'll probably talk about some of that in here. So that's another thing I wanted to state on this video. And I wanted to just give you a few examples, just of each area real quick. These are just one example in each area. That doesn't mean I don't have more than one. But in the physical, because I'm going to do the physical first for next week, one of the things I do is I go dancing, and I try to do at least once a week, line dancing. It's very good for me, and it goes into the social realm of me and my physical health. It really hits emotional. It really hits a lot of areas. But that's one of the things I do for my physical, and I try to walk. And I'm saying I try because I don't do as faithfully, especially in the summer when it's hot. So I try to take walks during the week as well as at least dance once a week. Okay. Second of all, mental. One of the things I do for my mental health is I have a gratitude book, and I write at least 3 things down per day that I'm grateful for. So it's just one of them. Mental. Emotional. For emotional, I chose my soaking time that I, again, attempt to do daily, or at least I try to do 16 minutes a day, but if not, less than that, where I'm just chilling and being calm and going to a happy place. So I believe that helps my emotional health. And what else did I not say? Spiritual. I try to get in the Word every day. I try to, and do 1 to 2 chapters. I don't do a ton. And I also read from a devotional, the present devotional that I'm working through. Try to read one of those every day is my attempt. And there's more than that. And then the other area, social. One of my goals this year has been to get with a friend once a month. That doesn't always happen perfectly, because I make goals with friends and things change it. And sometimes I end up doing a couple in 1 month. But that's my goal, is to get with a friend and have fun, go out to lunch, dinner, or do something fun, because I realize I need to do that outside of my relationship with my husband. So those are just examples I just want to throw out there. Okay. And Psalm 139 is where it says that you are fearfully and wonderfully made. I always want to quote a scripture, and that's the one I want to quote today. It's from that chapter. I encourage you to read the whole thing and read it out loud. It's powerful. And that is what I want to share today. So what I want to ask you to do is to share this video with a friend. Again, let me go back to what I said earlier. Most likely a friend that is very much of a giver, very much of a server, who does a lot in the community, somebody that you can commend. You can say all the good things that they do and what a maybe wonderful mother or wife they are. And that's probably the one who may need this, who needs to just have you care about them, because you do, enough to say, wow, they want me to think about my self-care. So I encourage you to share this video and the series to come with another friend. And that's what I'm asking you to do, please, today, if you got a benefit out of this video. and the ones to come. And I'd love for comments on things, what you think is part of self-care as well. But please share one of these videos out. And that is what I wanted to share for today about self-care. And I'm so glad you joined me, and I hope you join me for all the rest of them. This will also be accompanied in the support group at Calvary Chapel Worship Center that I do in person. We will be talking about this and that, so you may be watching this because you missed one. And again, you're welcome to come weekly to that. It is from 7 to 8 p.m. on Monday nights at Calvary Chapel Worship Center. If you need to know more where and how to get there and things, feel free to reach out to me here on a comment or PM me. And we'd love for you to join us at that support group, which is for men and women in any kind of losses, not just bereavement. Okay, God bless you. Signing off, Julie Kay, helping you find your way to mental health, to all around health, to all around well-being, and also to help you with your grief and loss. I do care. God bless you, and bye-bye.